eat less, move more, watch the scale, and it's not that how many people have tried that? How's that working for you? It's not working, right? Because when you diet aggressively like that, you lose muscle faster than fat. Your metabolism slows, your hormones become more out of balance and stressed, and your body becomes more protective. It's going to hold on to fat.
Gaining belly fat in perimenopause and menopause, even while eating trim healthy and doing all the right things? Feeling exhausted, inflamed, and so done with the scale? Hey, I'm Chris Honeycutt, Jesus follower, trim healthy coach, and your midlife hype girl. I believe God didn't design you to live stuck, bloated, or burned out. This podcast helps you partner with your hormones, ditch the belly fat, and finally feel strong, calm, and confident in a body you actually enjoy living in.
Have you signed up yet for the Beat the Belly Fat workshop? This is a free 3-day live event happening in January, where I'm teaching you how to turn fat burning on in midlife without dieting, guilt, or confusion. You'll learn how to eat, move, and support your hormones so you can finally lose that stubborn belly fat. So go to getyourtrimon.com/workshop and register now. It's January 19th, 20th, and 21st. It is free, it is live, and it's going to be a game changer for you. See you there. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Menopause Makeover Podcast. I am here today talking about a topic that I hear from you guys when I'm having conversations with you guys about weight loss and strength training. And here's what you say to me. You say that you've been strength training for X amount of time, maybe 5 or 6 months, and you're eating the eats and doing the things, and you're not seeing any results, and you may even be gaining some weight. And what I want to talk about today, this is actually a science-based podcast that I'm going to share with you. I've done some digging in, researching about the science behind this. And I want to talk about this because I want to put your brain and your mind at ease that while you might not be seeing results right now, it doesn't mean that you're not creating results. There is a belief that a lot of women have that you bring into your midlife weight loss. And I used to believe this too. I think it comes from a dieting mentality, honestly. And that's once I lose weight, then I'll focus on strength or XYZ. Once the scale moves, then I'll lift heavier. Once the fat is gone, then I will build muscle. But midlife does not work like it did. We're in our 30s. And today I want to flip the conversation because the midlife muscle is not the reward for weight loss. Muscle is the requirement for it. Let me say that again. Muscle is not the reward for weight loss. It is the requirement. So this episode is about why building muscle first, not chasing fat loss, is the most strategic, hormonal supportive, and sustainable approach after 40. I know a lot of you are chasing the fat loss, especially belly fat. I chased the weight loss for years, and I would do it anyway. I would do it fasting. I would do it crazy diets. I would do it over exercising. It doesn't work like that anymore. It is very different in our midlife years. And so today we're going to walk through this. We're going to talk science. We're going to talk faith. We're going to talk patience. But first, we're going to talk about why fat loss feels harder after 40. And I hear this a lot. You're doing all the things and your body isn't responding the way it used to. I mean, I've said that a billion times. I hear it a billion times. And it's almost like, why are we surprised? And the reason is this is going on. It's because we didn't know about it, first of all, heading into this. Second of all, it's about physiology. It's about hormones. It's not about your willpower and your discipline. Because the things that are changing, which I share this, frequently, but it's good to understand that there's something going on under the hood, ladies, that estrogen is declining and that reduces our insulin sensitivity, which causes us to store fat more readily. Our cortisol is easier to spike, so we're in a more stressed state. Our muscle mass naturally declines if it's not intentionally trained. The lower the muscle we have, the lower our resting metabolic rate, our metabolism. Our lower muscle is also contributing to poor blood sugar control, which also causes us to store fat. And these are just the physiological changes that are going on already in our body. And that's if you don't have anything else going on, if you don't have a metabolic disorder or some type of underlying issue. So when women say, I eat clean or I'm on plan and the scale won't budge, what I often see is a body without enough lean tissue to safely release fat. All that quick weight loss that can happen sometimes for us is a detriment to our muscle. So let's talk a little bit about the science here. So why muscle comes first? Muscle is an organ. Isn't that crazy? Even when I was in anatomy physiology and in getting my certifications, we did not learn that muscle is an organ. Muscle is actually a metabolic organ. So it's not just about looking toned. Muscles, active muscles, they burn glucose, they improve insulin sensitivity, and they stabilize hormones. So when we don't have muscle and we have the decline of hormones, that's an issue. That's a problem. So when we have more muscle, we have better blood sugar control. We have a lower baseline insulin levels. We have the greater ability to access stored fat. And we have a higher metabolic flexibility. So fat loss is not necessarily about more discipline or more willpower. It really is a capacity issue. Muscle improves that insulin sensitivity. After 40, insulin resistance becomes one of the biggest barriers to fat loss. Our muscles act like a sponge for glucose. So when you strength train, and honestly, when you move your body after meals, that is that sponge absorbing that excess glucose. But when you strength train, your muscle cells pull glucose out of the bloodstream. Insulin doesn't have to work as hard, and insulin is a fat storage hormone, which we need insulin. I love insulin in the right space and time. When we strength train, our fat storage signals decrease and our fat burning signals increase. So that is why under eating, excessive cardio will stall your body fat loss in midlife because it erodes muscle and it increases stress hormones. Pause, because I don't want you to miss this. If you've been stuck with stubborn belly fat following the Trim Healthy plan or any plan, but you're not seeing the scale budge, or you're feeling like your body has changed and nobody gave you the memo, you are not alone. That's why I'm hosting the Beat the Belly Fat Workshop, a free 3-day live event made just for midlife women like you. We're going to kickstart fat loss without deprivation, shame, or obsessing over every bite. You'll learn how to eat and move for the season of life, what your hormones have to do with belly fat, and the strategies I use inside my coaching program to help women finally get results. It's happening January 19th, 20th, and 21st inside a private pop-up Facebook group with coaching giveaways and real transformation. If you've been wondering what's going on with your body and you're ready to finally feel like you again, this is your next step. So go to getyourtrimon.com/workshop and grab your spot. It's free, but space is limited, and I really want to see you there. Again, you're going to go to getyourtrimon.com/workshop. See you there. The other thing is the dieting factor can backfire in midlife. Traditional weight loss, if you go to the doctor or, other avenues of weight loss, are going to say, eat less, move more, watch the scale, and it's not that how many people have tried that? How's that working for you? It's not working, right? Because when you diet aggressively like that, you lose muscle faster than fat, your metabolism slows, your hormones become more out of balance and stressed, and your body becomes more protective. It's going to hold on to fat. So the scale might move temporarily, but the cost is long term. So that's why women will say, hey, I lost weight and then it all came back on more. I cannot tell you how many conversations I've had listening to you guys say you lost the weight back in the day and then life happened and then you gained more. It wasn't because of the lack of discipline. And maybe you were making some choices that weren't healthy. Maybe you did have a season of off-plan eating or not taking care of your body. But I'll tell you this, most of it is a muscle deficit problem. If you had had muscle even back then, you might have been able to mitigate some of that. But it is the muscle that we're talking about here that can be the needle mover for you, especially if you are in midlife. So the muscle first midlife strategy is what I want you to focus on. And this is what Trim Healthy Wisdom is teaching. That whole book is, well, there's a lot of things in that book, but I will say a big part of the Trim Healthy Wisdom is really about building that muscle and cleaning your muscle. And so the goal, instead of weight loss, can we shift our goal? Can we shift it to metabolic restoration? Can we just say, you know what? I'm going to restore my metabolism. I don't care what the scale says. And let's give yourself 6 months to restore metabolically. That looks like prioritizing an adequate protein at every meal and snack. That means strength training consistently, not randomly, 2 to 3 times a week. That means eating enough fuel to support your recovery. That means supporting your blood sugar and not spiking it or starving it. That means maybe separating your fuels and adding a few crossovers here and there. That means letting fat loss become a byproduct of balance and not just having that fat loss as your main goal. What muscle does here? Muscle is going to improve your energy, your cravings, your sleep, your hormones, and actually the way your body feels. So fat loss follows safety, not pressure. So think about that. If you are getting onto yourself, if you've got a lot of pressure on yourself, your body is probably holding on to fat. Our fat loss follows the safety. But I want to see the scale go down, you say. And this is also what I hear. I hear it every week, probably almost every day. And here is the loving truth that I tell you guys is a shrinking scale without muscle is fragile progress. A shrinking scale without muscle is not going to get you there. You can be lighter and metabolically weaker. That is not going to help you. Or you can be stronger and you can watch the fat loss actually stick. Sometimes the scale pauses while the body builds lean tissue, reduces inflammation, rebalances hormones. Just think there's so many things going on that you can't see. So we don't want to make it mean that you're not seeing fat loss. We want to give it some time. So this is not delaying. This is more of a foundational work. You're building your muscle. You're building the foundation. You're building the foundation of your house. And that's going to take time. And that's going to take faith and trust, or trust and faith. Because muscle first fat loss requires patience, obedience to wise stewardship, letting go of that urgency that a lot of you want so much right now, and trusting in the unseen work. There's an unseen work that is going on. So I love what the Word of God says. Do you know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit? Therefore, honor God with your bodies. And we can shift from chasing that fat loss to honoring our body through feeding it properly, strengthening it intentionally, not punishing your body or yourself for making a mistake, and really working with your body. So dropping into another verse I like to share is, let's not grow weary in doing good. At the proper time, we will reap a harvest if you do not give up. And so the muscle first is the way to go. It's going to get you there. And it's going to require you to believe even when you don't see. So I just want to remind you that if you are doing these things, if you're lifting, fueling, and you're showing up and the scale hasn't moved, let's just look at it as, okay, I'm rebuilding capacity right now. And capacity is what allows fat loss to finally feel easier and not harder. So here is my question for you today. What if the goal right now isn't to get smaller, but to get stronger? And what if fat loss isn't something you chase, but something your body allows when it feels supported? And midlife weight loss isn't about doing more, it's doing what we actually know works. And you know what? I'm going to end it with this. Muscle. Muscle works. Muscle is the doorway.
Did you know that I have a free community of women in midlife just like you? Busy women who are working hard to lose weight with the Trim Healthy plan but feel hijacked by hormones and unexplained weight gain. I share menopause tips, superfood spotlights, delicious recipes, and so much more. Come join us at facebook.com/groups/get-your-trim-on.
So Chris has changed my life in so many ways. One of the biggest ways is I prep more. I was not someone who likes to cook, and I can't say it's my favorite still, but I can get those 100 grams of protein in, no problem, because I prep. I have the EAAs. I have frozen meals in the freezer. I have shakes set aside to make at any time. So not only has my mind changed, but I have this confidence in what to eat, when to eat, and I also understand why.